pursuant to Governor Baker's March 12, 2020 order suspending certain provisions of the open meeting law and the Governor's March 15th order, 2020, imposing strict limitations on the number of people that may gather in one place. This meeting of the Town of Burlington's Conservation Commission is being conducted through remote participation. No in-person attendance of members of the public are permitted, but every effort will be made to ensure that the public can adequately access the proceedings as provided for in this order. A reminder that persons who would like to listen to or view this meeting while in progress may do so by tuning into the BCAT Government Cable Access Channel or the BCAT Government Meetings Facebook Live feed, or you can join the meeting over the phone at 408-418-9388, and it is meeting number 179-747-7321. Eileen Coleman is sharing the meeting number and a meeting password if it's needed. So to join the Webex live video conference, click on the link on the Conservation Commission's meeting page or on the Town of Burlington's town calendar, or go to webex.com, click on join a meeting and punch in the meeting number and the password that is listed on the screen and on the agenda. New public hearings tonight will not be closed so as to allow comments from those who are unable to access or uncomfortable with this technology. Comments and concerns regarding public hearings should be emailed to conservation@burlington.org before the next meeting, which is May 27th, 2021. Okay. All right, the first thing I will do is call the meeting to order, and I will call on the various members of our commission who will signify by saying aye or present. Don Bernstein.
Aye.
Gail Lima.
Aye.
I believe Indra Deb is absent. Bill Boyden.
Present.
Jennifer O'Riordan. I believe she is
She got
absent.
called back to work. She'll join later if she can.
Okay, very good. Ed Loturco.
Here.
All right, good to see you, Ed. Okay. Associate Commissioner Kent Moffett. I believe he said he couldn't attend tonight. All right. Administrator John Keeley.
Here.
And Assistant Administrator Eileen Coleman.
Here.
And the chair, Larry Cohen, is present as well for the record. All right, thank you. So when your time comes and your time slot happens, I will ask for the proponents or applicants to certainly introduce themselves and give their address for the record. And all votes will be by roll call. The meeting is recorded. The items number, we have an adjustment to the agenda. Items number 9, the continued public hearing on the Redmond Street roadway. Number 7, number 8, 4 Redmond Street, and number 9, 5 Redmond Street, all by Somerset Realty, have been continued. So I'd entertain a motion now to continue 121 Lexington's, no, I'm sorry, motion to continue Redmond Street roadway by Somerset Realty and to continue 4 Redmond Street by Somerset Realty and to continue number 5 Redmond Street, Somerset Realty to our next meeting on May 27th.
Gail, so moved.
Bill, second.
All right. Dawn, how do you vote?
Yes.
Gail?
Yes.
Bill Boyden?
Yes.
Ed Loturco?
Yes.
And the chair, Larry Cohen, votes yes for a vote of 5-0-0. The Redmond Street roadway, number 4 Redmond Street, and number 5 Redmond Street is continued until our next meeting, which is May 27th, 2021. Okay. The next item on the agenda is the approval of minutes, April 22nd, 2021. Does anyone feel we're not in a position to approve?
Yes, they look good as always.
All
John
right,
just had a very minor edit in that towards the end, the stormwater bylaw was identified as the wetlands bylaw, but I just made that change.
all righty. All right, if there's nothing further from the commission, could I have a motion to approve the April 22nd, 2021 meeting of the Burlington Conservation Commission, the minutes?
So moved, Ed.
Second?
Second, Bill.
All right, Don Bernstein, how do you vote?
Yes.
Gil Lima?
I'm abstaining because I wasn't at that meeting.
All right, Bill Boyven?
Yes.
Ed LaTurco?
Yes.
The chair votes yes, so by a vote of 401, the minutes of April 22nd, 2021 are approved. Next, we'll go,
Did we do citizens time or did I miss that?
no, I missed it.
Missed it.
Let's do it now. Thank you for reminding me. Somehow I rolled right over it. Is there anyone here for citizens' time that would like to comment on something not on the agenda? We're back at item 2. Okay, so hearing none, we'll say we'll bypass citizens' time. The record should show no one is present for that. All right, so next one is, we're on item 4A. Notice is given that the Town of Burlington Conservation Commission will hold a Webex virtual public meeting, during which time we'll act upon a request for determination of applicability. This was filed by Daniel Milano. The commission will be taking information related to the proposed grading and landscaping activities within locally regulated riverfront area in the 100-foot buffer zone to bordering vegetative wetlands. The property is located at 5 Fowler Terrace. After we hear the item, we will thereafter issue a determination of applicability. The application is being heard pursuant to the State Wetlands Protection Act and Burlington's bylaw, Article 14. A copy of the application is available by emailing conservation@burlington.org. All right, is there somebody here for 5 Fowler Terrace?
Yes, this is Daniel Milano, owner of 5 Fowler Terrace.
All right,
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Nice to hear you. All right, so would you like to say, since you've already introduced yourself, would you like to say anything about what you're planning?
Sure. So this is a follow-up request to a determination back in November. We had a proposal about removing trees in the backyard. The commission approved some wetlands plantings of trees and shrubs in the backyard, and an extension of the grass from 22 feet to 30 feet. And this application is to further extend the grass from 30 feet to 44 feet.
Okay, very good. Thank you for that summary. All right, so John or Eileen, could you give us any comments or issues of concern that you have?
Sure. So the commission did a site visit yesterday, and this is the second request for determination of applicability at this property in the last half a year or whatever. So the current proposal is basically to allow the applicant to have more lawn than was permitted under the previous negative determination of applicability. And the proposal would still meet the 20-foot or would be approximately 20 feet from the stream, I believe. So the 20-foot no disturb would be met. The resource areas are bordering vegetated wetlands and also riverfront area under the bylaw only. It's not a perennial stream, but it is a direct tributary to Long Meadow Brook, so it's on our regulatory streams layer. That's basically it.
All right, do you have any concerns over this request to share with the commission?
No, but you'll see in the draft decision, we are recommending more plantings than is proposed because there were a lot of trees taken down, and we just feel like more trees should be planted.
Okay. All right, let's go around through the commission members and see if they have any questions or comments. Don, you have anything?
No, nothing at this time.
Okay. Gail?
So this site is not floodplain, is that correct?
The parcel is in the floodplain, yes, bordering land subject to
It
flood.
is in the floodplain.
Yes.
Okay. So I guess, you know, the concern in part is changing how much fill, how much compost is being brought in and changing the grade. The raising the level.
Right. And we actually neglected to put in a condition about that. We can certainly put in a condition like allowing the grade to be elevated no more than 1 or 2 inches or something to that effect.
Yep.
It's
Okay.
enough loam so you can plant grass.
Okay. That's all I have.
All right, Bill, anything?
No, that was the same comment that I had. It was looking at, 5 to 10 inches of fill with the amount that they said they were going to bring in. So we should limit it to no more than 1 or 2.
All righty. Ed?
No comment for it.
All right, my question is for John or Eileen. Do we require any waivers for this at all?
No, they're staying outside of the 20-foot no disturb. I mean, they went into it previously, but their proposed lawn will be 20 feet from the bank of the brook, and more than 20 feet from most of the BBW.
All right. Okay, is there anyone in the audience for this? This is a proposal from 5 Fowler Terrace. Is there anyone in the audience that would online that would like to say something? I guess not. We have a negative conditional determination to review and then to vote on. John or Eileen, would you do that, please?
Sure. So the findings, following the issuance of a negative determination of applicability for an after-the-fact approval to remove trees and expand the lawn and plant 5 trees and 6 shrubs, the applicant is now coming back to a request to extend the lawn to 44 feet behind the house from the current 22. The new proposal also includes 1 additional tree. The jurisdictional areas I went over, so it's riverfront area under the local bylaw, bordering land subject to flooding, and buffer zone to bordering vegetated wetlands. The commission's making no findings to the exact boundaries of any of these resource areas. There was no flagging of wetlands. Let's see, so for the draft conditions, condition 2 is a prohibition on removing any additional trees. Condition 3 is no additional land disturbance or stump or woody debris removal beyond the proposed lawn, and it should be allowed to revegetate naturally. The condition 4 is allowing the lawn to be 44 feet from the house, and that was staked out for those of you who went on the site visit. I think the commission felt that was acceptable. Then condition 5 has a mistake, but we're proposing 10 native trees and 22 parenthesis 22 native shrubs, blueberries and arborvitae on site as mitigation. So the arborvitae being planted on the left-hand side of the yard, the shrub, the blueberries will be, and the native trees will be within the area that was clear cut. And then standard conditions about dumping, prohibitions on using chemicals, the commission's right to access the site to do inspections, and the standard non-compliance condition. So we will add a condition limiting the amount of fill to no more than 1 or 2 inches at any area. offset, but allowing them to spread and level out the existing woody debris that's in that area. Just to level it out,
All right, so we're allowing them to do that.
right?
Okay. all
Within,
right,
within the lawn area, not beyond the 44-foot mark.
Okay.
And we'll make that clear in the condition.
All right. Does anyone on the commission have any further comment on this, on what was just reviewed? Does the applicant have any questions or comments? Mr. Milano?
No, I do have, if you can hear me, I just one question about the number of trees. If there's any flexibility in terms of, I know the minimum size is 4 feet. If we were to increase that size, if there's any flexibility on the number, or the commission is firm on the 10.
In other words, let me ask clarification. Is your question is if we installed larger caliper trees?
Correct, yeah. So the
could
proposal was
reduce
for
the number-
larger caliber.
Okay, and then reduce the number of native trees to less than 10. That's the question?
That is the question, correct.
All right. Does the commission have a comment? Bill?
This is Bill. I would vote for the higher number of trees because in the future that'll produce a better cover.
All right. Don?
I would agree with that. That's all I have.
All right. Gail?
Yeah, I agree with John's recommendation because there were quite a few trees that were there initially that were removed.
Don? I mean, Ed. I'm sorry. I asked Don. Ed?
No, covered it. I don't have anything different. This should be the same number that I think John recommended.
All right. So I think you have the answer, Mr. Milano, to your question.
Yep.
There seems to be a consensus there. I guess their opinion seems to be based on the large number of trees that were taken down, I think is what I heard.
Sure, understood.
All right. Okay, thank you for that question. Any other questions or comments from anyone? Hearing none, could I have a motion to issue a negative conditional determination for with the conditions as discussed under the State Wetlands Protection Act and Burlington Bylaw Article 14?
So moved, Gail?
Second, Don,
All right, Don, how do you vote?
yes.
Gail?
Yes.
Bill?
Yes.
Ed?
Yes.
Chair votes yes. So by a vote of 5-0, the applicant, Mr. Milano from Paula Terrace, you can now extend your lawn to what you requested.
Great, thank you all.
All right, thank you very much. Have a good evening.
You as well, bye-bye.
Thank you. All right. Next is item 4B. Notice is given that the Town of Burlington Conservation Commission will hold a Webex virtual public meeting during which time will act upon a request for determination of applicability filed by Ravi Vayapure. The commission will take information relating to the proposed installation of a shed within the 100-foot buffer zone to bordering vegetative wetlands at 99A Wilmington Road. We will therefore, after hearing it, we will therefore decide whether to issue a determination of applicability. The application is being heard under both the State Wetlands Protection Act and Burlington Bylaw Article 14. A copy of the application is available by email at conservation@burlington.org. All right, so is there someone here for that one?
Yeah, I'm Ravi Vayapuri for the property 99A Wilmington Road. Application for a shed to be installed.
All right, nice to see you tonight. Would you like to say, I'm not sure there's more to say, but if you'd like to say more, you can.
I would like to just make sure that the shed is as back as possible for the aesthetics, but it's coming in the conflict of conservation. I'm more open to whatever decisions you take, and then just cancel the order of the shed or carry on with it based on your decisions or advices.
All right, thank you for those comments. John or Eileen, do you have any comments to offer on this one?
Okay, so that one's me. So I contacted Ravi, I think, because I saw it coming up in the online permitting system, and I was a bit concerned because when I looked up the site, can I just share what gave me a little bit of concern was the fact that there's this conservation restriction on the site, which dates from the 90s. And it's actually over a huge amount of his lot, and it indicates that there's probable wetlands there. So when we went out with the commission, we realized that wetland doesn't really come all that doesn't come right up to the line of the conservation restriction. So there's less of a concern than I initially had about putting the shed close to the conservation restriction as long as he stays outside it. And I think that Ravi might be open to putting it on. Actually, what sort of does it need some sort of foundation, Ravi? Or can you put it on blocks?
I heard from this Reed's Ferry, they said, heard while the discussion was on gravel, they will, it's on the same level, no upliftment of the ground anywhere. It's just going to level the ground for a gravel. That's what I heard. Crushed stones.
Okay, so given that I don't think that John or I or possibly the commissioners I no longer have any concern about his proposed placement of the shed in the backyard as long as it's outside the restriction.
All right, Dawn, do you have any questions or comments on this?
No questions.
All right, Gail?
Nope.
Bill?
No, as long as it's outside that restriction and non-gravel, he can put it wherever he'd like within the, that area. I'm fine with it.
Ed?
No additional comment.
All right. John, that's an old conservation restriction. What would be your assessment of the condition of the conservation area behind it?
So unfortunately, the conservation restriction isn't marked with bounds or anything. But it appears that the applicant or the owner and probably previous owners, since it's a 30-year-old conservation restriction, have honored the restriction pretty much. So it seems like the lawn is more or less on the conservation restriction line. So as long as the shed stays on that lawn, I think it'll be outside this conservation restriction area.
Okay. All right. Is there anyone in the audience for this? This is a request for a shed at 99A Wilmington Road. All right, so there's no public participation on this one for 99A Wilmington Road. Do we have a draft negative conditional determination to review?
We do. I'll share it right now.
Okay.
This is Bill. While that's coming up, I would just like to thank Mr. Viapori for respecting the conservation restriction. It's clear that he's respected it and not disturbed it at all.
Thank you.
Oh, sharing.
There it goes.
Okay. Ravi, I changed the spelling of your name. Thank you for telling me that. The applicant proposed to install a 14 by 20 foot, I need to put the foot in there, shed. Oh, get it. Within the buffer zone bordering vegetated wetlands and close to an area with a conservation restriction. The work was located within the 100-foot buffer zone to BVW. The closest work was at least 40 feet from BVW and outside the defined conservation restriction. The wetland was not delineated and the commission makes no formal approval of the wetland boundary under the determination. This condition is a standard that this work is only as outlined in the project description, that being the shed on gravel. No removal of trees or shrubs or alteration of naturally vegetated areas is permitted by this decision. Any construction or demolition materials and excavated soil shall be disposed of off-site in a legal manner. And prior to installing the shed, the applicant shall stake the area proposed for its location and conservation conservation staff shall make a final approval of the location. There shall be no filling or grading on the property beyond what is required for the approved work, and the grade of the existing yard will not be altered beyond what's shown in the current plans. And the rest are standard conditions about no pesticides, herbicides, or fungicides within the 100-foot buffer of a bordering vegetated wetlands, and the commissioners or their representatives may inspect the premises. And that is it.
All right, are there any comments or changes from the commission? Okay, sir, do you have any comments or questions on what you heard so far?
Not at this time. Thank you all for hearing my application.
Okay, so if you do, you can always call the office for questions or clarifications anyway.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
All right, so with that, could I have a motion to approve a negative conditional determination for the project proposed for 99A Wilmington Road under Burlington Bylaw Article 14 and the State Wetlands Protection Act?
So moved. Don,
Second, Bill.
All right, Don, how do you vote?
yes.
Bill?
Yes.
Indra? Oh, I'm sorry, Bill?
Yes.
Ed?
Yes.
And the chair votes yes by a vote of 5-0-0. The approval of the shed for 99A Wilmington Road is approved. Good luck, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you all and have a great day, evening for.
Too.
Rest
Have
of
a
the-
good evening.
Thank you.
All right. Okay, next is we're on agenda item 4C. Notice is given that the Town of Burlington Conservation Commission will hold a Webex virtual public meeting, during which time we have a request for determination of applicability filed by Jennifer and Gary Ortega. The commission will take all information related to the proposed installation of above-ground pool within a 100-foot buffer zone to bordering vegetative wetlands. The property is located at 21 Arnold Terrace. After we hear it, the commission will issue a determination. The application is being heard under the State Wetlands Protection Act and Burlington Bylaw Article 14. And a copy of this application is available by email at conservation@burlington.org. All right, so somebody here for this one at 21 Arnold.
Hi, I'm Jennifer and this is Gary Ortega.
Hello.
We own 21 Arnold Terrace.
All right, nice to see you and hear you, I guess.
You too.
Thank you.
All right, so would you like to say anything about what you're planning at all?
I think the visual is pretty good. We would like to install a 24-foot round pool directly behind the house and about 25, 30 feet from an area of our yard that is wet.
Okay, very good. All right, Eileen or John, comments, please?
Sorry, I think it's me. So when we visited yesterday, we could see that there was definitely a wet area at the right-hand side of the yard. Several years ago, you previously issued a positive determination for an addition nearby, but a pool is really a different matter, and they are maintaining the pool at least 20 feet from the BVW. So I really don't have any issue with this pool going in at this time.
Okay. All right, then let's see if the commissioners have any further comment. Don, anything?
Nope, nothing more.
All right, Gail, anything further?
So you don't have any, or do you have any plans to do any like patio work or anything around the pool, or just the pool? Okay. And there looked like there had been some cutting of vegetation in the area that's wet. So you'll want to stop that because two reasons. I mean, there's a wetland, but also that actually may help your yard be a little drier by keeping the plants there. So I would suggest not doing that anymore, but that's all I have.
All righty, Bill?
Thank you.
I have no comments further than that. Thank you.
And Ed?
No comments.
And the chair has nothing further on this one either. Is there anyone in the audience that is interested in a pool being located at 21 Arnold? I guess not. All right, the record should show no one said anything during citizen request. So we have a draft decision. We'll first review it, then we vote on it, and then get you on your way. Okay. Eileen, would you?
In fairness, it was just taking its time.
Yep,
So the applicant proposed to install a 24-foot diameter above-ground pool on existing lawn behind the house deck. The work was located within the buffer zone to bordering vegetated wetland. The edge of the wetland was not delineated, appears to be well within the lawn area of the right-hand side of the property based on observed funding during a commission site visit in 2013 and on observations made at a site visit yesterday. The proposed pool was approximately 25 feet from the BBW. As with the previous decisions, this decision is only for work as outlined in the project description above, so only for the pool and no deck or patio. Prior to beginning any construction on the site, sediment barriers shall be installed at the limit of work, and the applicant should call me or John to take a look at them before the work begins. All construction demolition materials shall be excavated off-site, and excavated soil shall be disposed of off-site in a legal manner, and no excavated soil shall be placed behind the erosion control barrier. There should be no stockpiling of soil or other materials within 50 feet of wetlands. No tracking of sediments onto public roadways will be allowed. In the event tracking does occur, sediment should be swept from roadway daily, and there should be no filling or grading of the property under this decision, only enough to get the pool level. The project shall not increase the rate or volume of runoff nor cause flood or storm damage to abutters or the property of others. Debris, lawn, clippings, and landscape materials shall not be dumped in the vegetated wetlands. And the owner shall refrain from cutting vegetation in the wetland area and shall let existing vegetation regenerate. Pesticides, herbicides, fungicides shall not be used within 100 feet of the wetlands or in the wetlands, unless the commission approves a slow release phosphorus-free fertilizer. And members of the commission or I will probably just pop by to make sure the erosion controls and everything are in good working order.
okay, Mr. and Mrs. Ortega, do you have any questions on anything you've heard so far?
The only question I had was with regards to the erosion barrier. Do you want to see it from basically where the shed was, so all the way to the back of the property, or 'cause that's about 105 feet?
It says,
Sorry, I don't think you need 100 feet of it. You really just need to have enough that I don't remember where the shed was.
The shed
it's
was
right
at the
next
very
to the
front of the
house.
house. It was pretty much in line with the front of my house, and then, so if I
I
start,
don't think it needs to go all the way to the front of the house. From the deck back, maybe about 50 feet. John, would you agree with that? Oh,
Eileen, they could always stake it out and you guys could run out there and take a peek and just, you know,
yeah,
put
okay.
It said on the determination, the site, so as long as it's a little like longer than where the pool is gonna be, it's as long as it's containing that, is that what you mean
As
by
long
the?
as it's protecting the wetland side, it doesn't need to go along the side of the house.
Okay, thank you.
All right, if you have any further questions, just call the office. Okay, so is there any further comment by the commission? Hearing none, could I have a motion to approve a negative conditional determination for the project at 21 Arnold Terrace?
Who moved it?
Second, Gail.
All right, Dawn, how do you vote?
Yes.
And Gail?
Yes.
Bill?
Yes.
Ed?
Yes.
And the chair votes yes, unanimous by a vote of 5-0-0. This project is approved. Good luck, folks.
Thank you very much. Have a good night.
All right, you too. Thanks for tuning in.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right, next we have a continued public hearing, notice of intent, 68 Wilmington Road. It is a notice of intent, a project proposed by Nash Kadir. It's the construction of a single-family dwelling. DEP file number 122-658. Is there somebody here for that?
So I'm not sure if there is. Well, I see the representative for the the current owner or maybe the previous owner if it's,
I think he was muted. He was talking, but he's muted.
This is William Sylvester. I'm the executor of
Okay.
the estate, and Andy Bram is the
Yes.
attorney, and he's here as well. Andy, I think you're muted.
Yeah, I unmuted.
All right, welcome to you both. Would you
Thank
like,
you.
would you like, either of you wish to say anything further about this?
No, I believe we solved the problem with the back taxes. So my understanding is this should be ready for a vote tonight.
All right. All right. John or Aileen, any further comment or issues to discuss at this time?
No, that information is correct. That situation's been resolved. You actually went through the draft decision last time. So the conditions have all been reviewed and approved by you. At this point, all you need to do is close the hearing and vote to approve the conditions you reviewed last time.
All right, so, all right, John, I think you get off easy on this one since we already
do.
last time.
Yep.
All right, is there anything further from the commission on this? The hearing is still open. All right, is there anything further from the public on this one? The hearing is still open. 68 Wilmington Road. Hearing none, therefore, could I have a motion to close the hearing for the notice of intent for 68 Wilmington Road, construction of a single-family dwelling under Burlington Bylaw Article 14 in the State Wetlands Protection.
So moved, Bill.
Second?
Second, Ed.
All right, Don, how do you vote on closing the hearing?
Yes.
Dale,
Yes.
Bill,
Yes.
Ed?
Yes.
The chair votes yes by a vote of 5-0-0. The hearing is closed for 68 Wilmington Road. Could I have a motion to approve the findings under Burlington Bylaw Article 14 for 68 Wilmington Road?
Moved, Gail. So moved.
Second?
Second, Bill.
All right, Don, how do you vote?
Yes.
Gail?
Yes.
Bill?
Yes.
Ed?
Yes.
And the chair votes yes by a vote of 5-0-0. The findings for 68 Wilmington Road project are approved under Burlington Bylaw Article 14. Could I have a motion to approve the order of conditions for this project under Burlington Bylaw Article 14 and the State Wetlands Protection Act for 68 Wilmington Road, DEP file number 122-658?
So moved, Ed.
Second, Don.
Further discussion? We all reviewed it all last time, folks. All right. Don, how do you vote?
Yes.
Gail?
So I just want to make the point that even though I wasn't at the last meeting, I viewed the video.
All right, thank you. Bill?
Yes.
Ed?
Yes.
The chair votes yes by a vote of 5-0-0. The order of conditions for 68 Wilmington Road are approved under Burlington Bylaw Article 14 in the State Wetlands Protection Act. Is there a proposed amount that staff is proposing? For the
2,500,
20, what was it?
2,500, 2,500.
All right, thank you. Could I have a motion to request the posting of $2,500 surety under Burlington Bylaw Article 14 for the project at 68 Wilmington Road?
So moved, Gail.
Second, Bill.
Second, Don.
All right, Don, how do you vote?
Yes.
Gail?
Yes.
Bill?
Yes.
Ed?
Yes.
The chair votes yes. The requirement to post $2,500 surety is approved for 68 Wilmington Road. All right, gentlemen, thank you all very much. Good luck with this
Thank you.
project. You folks have a good evening.
Thank you very much. You too.
Right. All right. All right, so I guess we can move on to the next one. we have a continued public hearing. It's an erosion and sedimentation control permit for 121 Lexington Street, proposed by 121 Lexington Street RT. It's the construction of a single-family dwelling. Someone here for that one?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, Joe Curry is here.
All right, how are you this evening?
I'm well, and yourself? I'm here for a continuation of the hearing.
Good. All right, so would you like to say anything more at this point about your project?
No, it was just continued because of the 2020 back taxes, which were resolved. And,
All right.
ready to move forward.
All right, John, do we have a DEP number? It's not showing on the agenda.
So it's an erosion control permit only, so we don't have a DEP number.
Oh, that's right. Okay, that's correct. Okay, that makes sense. All right, so, okay, John or Eileen, do you have any further comment on this one? The public hearing is open.
No, we don't. That I think we addressed all the issues the last time, and we have incorporated them into we've drafted conditions. There was some concern about stabilizing one side of the property, and we're addressing that. And I'll work with Mr. Courier to add additional erosion controls should they be needed as the project goes forward.
All righty. And from the commission, are there any further comments from anyone?
Nope.
I have nothing further. Is there anyone in the audience that has further comments? Would like to offer a comment on the erosion and sedimentation control permit for 121 Lexington Street? I guess the answer is no. Eileen, I assume you have a draft decision, you or John?
I do.
All righty.
It's ready to share. Okay. So I hope you can all read it. This project is the demolition of an existing residential dwelling and the construction of a new dwelling with driveway and utilities. Minor grading to occur across the lot. The existing lot is about 36,000 square feet. Land disturbance related to the demolition of the existing residence and tree removals occurred across the whole lot. Proposed land disturbance due to construction of the new house is approximately 20,000 square feet. The applicant filed for, that doesn't, you don't worry about the filing history. Conditions referenced below are best management practices necessary to prevent erosion into Burlington's stormwater system. And adherence to these conditions is necessary for the protection of Burlington's stormwater bodies and groundwater, etc. So we referenced the two site plans that Mr. Courier submitted. One of which was signed and stamped by Christopher Mello, and the other one had approximate water and sewer lines sketched on by the applicant. So moving on to the other conditions, any changes to the above referenced plans shall be submitted to the Conservation Department for review, and the department will then determine whether changes can be approved administratively or need to be presented to the Commission. Members of the Commission and Planning Board shall have the right to enter upon and inspect the premises to evaluate compliance with this permit. A copy of this permit shall be provided to any person doing work on the site and shall be available on the site at all times during construction. This permit doesn't relieve the applicant from responsibility to be in compliance with all other required permits or regulations. Prior to commencing any work on site, the applicant shall contact Conservation Commission staff as needed to clarify the meaning of the permit conditions. And the Commission shall be notified at least 1 week prior to the commencement of construction to schedule a pre-construction meeting at which we would want to meet the applicant, the contractor, the individual responsible for erosion control monitoring. And at that time, we would review the permit and the conditions contained herein and inspect the erosion controls and discuss erosion control monitoring. The pollution prevention conditions are pretty standard. Dumpsters shall be brought to the site while demolition and construction is ongoing. During and after work on this project, there should be no discharge or spilling of fuel or other pollutants. Cleaning of equipment, including washing or rinsing of concrete transport, shall be done either into the foundation or into a concrete washout container. Standard condition about evidence of strong odor needs to be reported. Prior to beginning any construction on the site, sediment barriers shall be installed across the frontage on Lexington Street, and I'll work with Mr. Courier if additional erosion controls need to go up, and either wattles or snow fence shall be installed along the line defining the proposed lots A and B. I would suggest, I might just add a point after that saying after lot B is stabilized. No other work shall begin until the required initial erosion control barriers are properly installed by hand. And we reserve the right to require additional erosion control. The right side of the lot shown as lot B in the site development plan shall be hydroseeded or otherwise stabilized within 30 days of the foundation being poured, during which time the foundation will be backfilled and excess material shall be brought off site. All disturbed areas shall be stabilized and revegetated within 30 days of being disturbed. Erosion and sediment shall not be allowed into the streets of Burlington. The project owner shall be responsible for cleanup of such eroded materials, and materials should be stockpiled on the site at a location to minimize the likelihood that materials will run into the street or catch basins. Stockpiled materials will be covered with tarp material. If dewatering is needed, a plan shall be submitted to the conservation administrator. Grading shall be completed in such a way as to not direct additional runoff to the property of others and shall not increase the volume or rate of runoff to other properties. Sweep the sediment off the street if it gets there. Silt sacks shall be required on Lexington Street if there are any open spaces within 100 feet of the project. The rooftop and driveway runoff for the new dwelling shall be infiltrated as per the reference plan. The rooftop runoff should be directed into stone trenches, and the trenches shall be, and we've just defined how wide they are based on the plan, and the driveway shall be pitched to a stone trench not less than 2 feet wide and 2 feet deep. Photographic evidence of the installation shall be provided to conservation, or you can feel free to call me to take a look at it while it's being done. And we're proposing a bond of the amount of 2,500.
All right, very good. All right, so
Eileen,
sir,
can you read the last condition?
Oh, I'm sorry, I missed something, didn't I? Yes, I added onto that a good point about the spot grades, because we had talked about requiring a little more from some plans. Sorry, it's just has to come back up again. It was, upon completion of construction and prior to final conservation sign-off, the applicant shall submit a detailed as-built plan to the Conservation Commission, along with a statement by a professional civil engineer detailing any deviations from the approved plans or conditions. The as-built plan shall include spot grades on the driveway to show that the driveway pitches to the infiltration trench.
Thank you.
all right. So, Mr. Courier, do you have any comments on our questions about what you've heard so far?
No, I do not have any questions or comments.
All right, you've seen a lot of this before anyway, I assume, anyway.
Yes, this is a little bit easier than other projects.
Right, all right, so let me ask the commission. Don, do you have anything further on this one?
No, nothing further.
Gail?
Nope.
Bill?
No.
Ed?
Nope.
I have one question. The way it's worded on that last condition, Eileen, does the existing plan now, are we asking for more spot grades to be included? Or are there any spot grades now on the plan?
I think there are currently no spot grades in the plan.
Okay,
So
do we,
we would like to have some at the end too.
well, you're asking some at the end. You need to see it prior to the construction to make sure there's enough? Is there any need, I'm asking, is there any need to see it, Eileen or John, you think, for us to look at it prior to it being constructed? Because after it's constructed, if there wasn't enough, or I don't know if that's necessary.
I don't really think it's necessary. It doesn't need to be a huge grade change in order to make it work. And I hope Joe's done enough of these that he can make it work. I won't sign a CO unless it's done.
Well, in other words, you want the driveway to end up being pitched to the infiltration trench, is what you're saying.
Yes.
All right, so Mr. Courier, you can deal with this then? Is that?
Yes, I can handle that, and I will also be shown on the as-built, any underground infiltrators
All right, good.
located and put on the as-built.
All right, that's the only question. All right, is there anybody, I guess I don't know if I asked, is there anybody in the audience that has a comment on this? I'm not sure I asked, can't remember. 121 Lexington Street. All right, so there's none. All right, so if there's nothing further, could I have a motion to approve the erosion and sedimentation control permit for 121 Lexington Street to construct a single-family dwelling under Burlington bylaw Article 14?
So moved, Ed.
Second, Bill.
Don,
All right, I guess we have an approved motion. Don, how do you vote?
yes.
Gail,
Yes.
Indra? Oh, I'm sorry, Bill,
Yes.
Ed?
Yes.
The chair votes yes. All right. This is a hearing, so I should have asked to close the hearing as well, so we should now close the hearing. Could I have a motion to close the hearing on the project at 121 Lexington Street, erosion and sedimentation control permit?
So moved.
Second?
Second, Ed.
All right, let's go through it again. Don,
Yes.
Gail, Bill,
Yes.
Ed,
Yes.
and the chair votes yes. The hearing is closed for 121 Lexington Street, 500. Could I have a motion to require the posting of $2,500 surety for the project at 121 Lexington Street under Burlington bylaw Article 14?
So moved, Bill.
Second?
Second, Gail.
Second, Ed.
All right, one more time through. Don, how do you vote?
Yes.
Gail?
Yes.
Bill?
Yes.
Ed?
Yes.
And the chair votes yes by a vote of 500. The requirement to post $2,500 surety for 121 Lexington Street is approved. All right, Mr. Curry, thank you very much. Good luck with your proposed project.
All right, thank you, John, Eileen, members of the board, and Mr. Chairman. Have a good night.
All right, you too. Have a good evening. All right. Okay, as we said, first thing in the meeting, Redmond Street roadway, 4 Redmond Street and 5 Redmond Street were asked and approved for continuance to May 27th meeting. The next will go to administrative items. We have to sign a conservation restriction, so I guess we'll have to vote on a motion on the willingness to sign. So since we can't reach through the airwaves, this is something that we have reviewed previously. And I think I should make note that Commissioner Ed Laturco made the comment he was interested in the status of the landscaping plan, which I thought was a good question. So in response, our administrator, John Keeley, circulated the landscaping plan. And is it correct to say, John, I think I heard you say that all the landscape is a landscaping plan that seems to have a very dense packing of proposed plantings, and that it will be done in the fall. Do you have any comment on that?
No, that is correct. I checked with them the timing of it, because obviously it's either spring or fall to do that sort of planting, and I was wondering if they were planning on doing it now, and they said they are doing it in the fall, which is fine.
All right, and so, and your comment I saw on the email was that there is we would not give a certificate of compliance to the project unless all that was done. Is that correct, John?
Right. Well, we will issue a certificate of compliance under the bylaw only. As you recall, it's a superseding order of conditions, so it's DEP that actually issues these superseding certificate of compliance for the superseding order. But we do under the bylaw.
All right.
So they have to get 2 certificates from 2 different agencies.
All right. Ed, any further comment, or are you all set on this one?
Just clarification, so the area of concern that you and neighbors have had here is where the actual banking was corrected. They cut down a lot of trees to make that almost look like a roadway. Is there any plantings planned for that?
So
Where it goes right into the,
I don't have the planting plan in front of me, but that was cut down because they had to do floodplain compensation. So they had to lower the grade to do floodplain compensation. So all the floodplain compensation area will be replanted.
okay, so that will be replanted. That was the question.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Thanks, Ed, for that comment. All right. All right. So is there any other commissioner that has comments on this one? This is the Willow Road self-storage facility on approving the conservation restrictions. All right. If not, could I have a motion to indicate a willingness of the commission to sign the conservation restriction for Wheeler self-storage?
So moved, Gail.
Second?
Second, Don,
All right. Dawn, how do you vote?
yes.
Gail?
Yes.
Bill?
Yes.
Ed?
Yes.
The chair votes yes, so by a vote of 5-0-0, the conservation restriction, the commission has indicated a willingness to sign the conservation restriction. And I gather, Eileen, will all have to actually physically do that, swing by the office and sign the document.
You
All right.
muted Eileen. So that there'll be several documents to sign for after this meeting, all the determinations and whatnot. So it'll be with all those.
Okay. All right. Okay, so let's move to the next one. Are there any planning board comments?
No, not at this time.
All right, subcommittee and staff reports and updates.
I've been forwarding you the information on the Public Lands Preservation Act, although it's not called that now. But there are hearings going on in the Senate. I think I sent you information on that a couple days ago. So we'll see what happens. It's looking better than ever.
Yeah, it's scheduled for May 8th. It starts at 1 o'clock and it goes May 18th and it goes to 1 o'clock to 5 p.m. You can submit written comments or you can give oral testimony at the actual hearing. It's all done by remote participation. My suggestion would be if you know of anyone who would be interested in this and may not be aware that it's occurring, who knows about the Public Lands Preservation Act proposal, you might want to forward that email that indicates when the hearing is. I also sent a note to, in case any of the commissioners or anyone listening is interested, I sent a note to the research director for the joint committee and asked them if it's recorded, which I assume it is. And I asked them how you access the recording in case you want to, you can't do it right at 1 o'clock on May 18th, but you may want to look and see what people said about it. So I'll share that as soon as they respond. Okay. All right, next is election of officers. This is an annual, I believe an annual thing that we do. It's time to select a chair and vice chair. I am of the sincere opinion that that this commission offers some very dedicated talent that puts in a lot of effort, and I feel it's been a privilege to serve with you. On the other hand, I have done it for a while, and I would entertain any motion if someone who feels they want to do it. I would certainly support that. I am open to nominations and our discussion. Dawn, anything?
No, I don't have anything.
All right. Gail, do you have anything on this one?
Nope, things have been running smoothly.
Okay. Bill, any comments at all?
I nominate Larry to continue as chairperson.
Bill, would you rather be doing it? Yeah, we can.
I am happy in the role that I have, Larry. Thank you.
All right, I would have complete faith in anyone here who would like to try it, so.
I second nomination for Larry as chair.
All right, is there anyone else who would like to, if anyone else would like to step forward, I would withdraw and make it an uncontested race. All right, with that, we have a motion on the floor. Could I have a voice vote, if that's all right? Don, how do you vote?
Yes.
Gail?
Yes.
Bill?
Yes.
Ed?
Yes.
And I guess the chair votes for himself. Okay, by a vote of 5-0-0, Larry Cohen will chair for another year. And on this note, I will first say that I really do believe it's an honor and privilege to serve with you on this commission. I really believe that. Thank you.
I
Now,
like that. I've learned a lot from you, so I support that activity there.
thank you very much, Ed. You're all very nice. We need a vice chair to also serve. Bill is the current vice chair. Is there a nomination from the floor?
I nominate Bill to continue to serve as vice chair.
Is there a second?
Second that, Ed.
Bill, do you accept?
I do. Thank you very much.
All right, so if there's nothing further, could I have a motion? I guess the motion's on the floor. Could I go through the roll call? Don, how do you vote?
Yes.
Gail?
Yes.
Bill, would you like to cast a vote for yourself?
Sure. Yes.
All right, Ed?
Yes.
All right, the chair votes with enthusiasm for Bill Boyven as vice chair. Again, Bill, any comment?
Just thank you all for your confidence, and I've also learned very much from you, Larry, and I'm happy to continue as your backup.
All right, I appreciate that very much, and it goes without saying that I would gladly and not question it. If anyone says, I'd like to try chairing for a while, all you have to do is speak up. I thank you all very much. All right, so next on the agenda, we have upcoming meetings. The next one is May 27th. The next one is June 10th. Under other business, does anyone have anything under other business?
So I do. So we have town meeting is going on. It's 2 nights have passed, and the third night is next Monday. And we're anticipating the stormwater bylaw revision will be up at town meeting on Monday, hopefully. Worst cases, it's Wednesday. But in preparing for the meeting, we got a question from a town meeting member what the Conservation Commission vote on this stormwater bylaw was. And going back through the minutes, we realized that while you voted to support it in January for the town meeting, it didn't go to town meeting in January because the bylaw review committee had so many questions. So we worked with the bylaw review committee, primarily Eileen, but myself as well. And it did change a little, and we certainly provided you with copies of it and all, but we didn't actually get you to formally vote. So if you could just vote to support it in case there are any questions. Obviously, the town meeting knows you support it, but just in case there's any questions about the formal vote.
All right, hearing that request, so we have a motion to approve the bylaw change to the stormwater bylaw. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Tom?
All right, a second.
Second, Gail.
All right, any comments further? Okay, the motion on the floor is to show the commission's approval of the changes to the stormwater bylaw. Don, how do you vote?
Yes.
And we have Gail,
Yes.
and we have Bill,
Yes.
we have Ed.
Yes.
And the chair votes yes by unanimous vote, 5-0-0. The Conservation Commission approves the proposed changes to the stormwater bylaw.
Thank you.
Under other business, I had actually some other business directed to Mr. Boyden. A while ago, Bill, you sent around a note about an interesting item before town meeting on the Kent Cottage proposal for that property. Do you have any comment or any update,
Yes.
or is there anything?
They had submitted a plan for putting a number of units on that property. They plan to retain the existing building and restore it. That building will have 2 housing units in it, and then there'll be 2 other structures with housing units as well. I believe there was a total of 7. And that is as much as I've seen so far.
Is it going to come before town meeting?
Let me just
Yes.
check here. I got
Yeah, it's like Article 31, I believe, to rezone it to allow multifamily housing. So that'll be Monday night or worst case, Wednesday night.
So that is not one that has been withdrawn then.
No,
Okay,
I believe it's 31.
yeah.
All right. Is it proposed by Nordblum? Is that who's
Yes.
proposing it? I
Yes.
see.
Yes.
I see. Bill, have you heard anything from town meeting members on this one?
I have not. I have not. The actual proposal is to amend the Plan Development District zoning provisions for that site. So
Hmm.
for density and dimensional requirements and things like that. Because
And-
it's a
and-
radically different change than what was previously proposed.
So if they don't approve it, then the property would stay the way it is? Is that the presumption?
If you want, hang on 1 minute, if you don't mind. I'm gonna see if I can pull up the drawing and share it. Let's see if I can do this quickly. That would be in mail, and that was from Amy. And it would be backup for. You know what? I'm not gonna be able to do it gracefully, I don't think.
All right.
Just tie everything up.
Well, maybe if you find out more about the consequence of not approving it, it would be interesting to know, I think.
Well, if the bylaw change, I mean, if the zoning is not approved, then they're not able to build this type of a structure there. So
Is that what
we go on from there, I don't know.
Oh, I didn't know whether it was just restrictive to the point that they could only build so many. I didn't know if it was a yes or no type thing. I'm sure some of the town meeting members are gonna ask at town meeting Monday night anyway.
So I don't think there's any housing allowed under the current PDD. So the PDD is for the entire Sun campus, not just this lot. It's all one PDD. So
See,
I
I
don't
see.
think they allowed any housing
all
originally.
right, so that kind of would answer the question. If it's not approved, then they can't do what they're proposing.
Right.
Right.
All right, okay. Is there anything else under other business?
No.
All right, could I have a motion to adjourn the meeting, please?
So moved here.
Second?
Second,
All right, Don, how do you vote on adjournment?
Yes.
And Gail?
Yes.
Bill?
yes.
Ed?
Yes.
The chair votes yes by unanimous vote. This meeting of the Burlington Conservation Commission is adjourned. You all